Is your mind still restless at this very moment, wandering in search of a place to rest, even though your body is utterly exhausted? I understand that feeling. We often spend the entire day tending to the outside world, yet forget to soothe the inner child. My dear friend, you do not need to try to be strong at this moment. You deserve to rest. This video is not merely an audio track. It is a safe sanctuary that I have dedicated specifically to you. Tonight, I will not teach you anything. I am simply here as a companion, helping you lay your burdens down at the doorstep and allowing the ancient promises to heal your soul. Take a deep breath, and as you exhale, allow your eyes to close. Trust in surrendering control and listen to this gentle invitation. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. My dear friend, we meet again here in this sacred moment of intersection, when the light of day has yielded to the velvet curtain of the night. Find for yourself the most comfortable position. Perhaps you are lying on your familiar bed, feeling the softness of the pillow, the warmth of the blanket. Allow your body to sink. Sink a little deeper into the soft mattress. Now, take a deep breath and exhale very slowly. Imagine that with every breath out, you're shedding a layer of the dust from today. How was your day today? Whether it unfolded brilliantly or was full of thorns, it has ended. It is time for us to close the door to the outside world and gently step into the room of the soul, where there is only you and the peaceful presence of the Creator. Before we drift into sleep, let us offer a prayer of thanksgiving together, not because everything is perfect, but because we are still breathing, still enveloped in this grace. Saint Augustine, a great soul who once yearned just like you and me, once said that the human soul is like a bottomless ocean, always longing to be filled. We often seek peace in achievements, in praise, or in trying to control everything around us. But tonight, let us try something different. Give thanks to God for the simplest things. Thank Him because these eyes have seen the sunlight. Thank Him because these hands have labored hard. And thank Him because now this body has the right to rest. Whisper in your mind, I thank God because I have lived fully today. But I know, somewhere within your chest, there remains a bit of heaviness. Do you feel you haven't done enough? Are worries for tomorrow waiting to creep into your mind? Do not drive them away. Look at them with compassion. You know, the fatigue you are feeling is not a failure. It is a gentle reminder from the Creator that you are human. We often mistakenly think we must be supermen, must carry the whole world on our shoulders. We fear that if we close our eyes, the world will collapse. If we let go, everything will shatter. That is the burden of hidden pride, the burden of trying to play God in your own life. But listen to this confirmation. a confirmation that will release you from tension immediately. You have limits, and that is perfectly fine. You are weak, and that is loved by God. Recall the image of Moses in the ancient scriptures, a great leader who parted the Red Sea. But there were also nights he felt the weight of an entire nation pressing on his shoulders. He felt alone, exhausted, and helpless before the chaos of human hearts. Perhaps your mind right now is also like the wilderness that Moses traversed, full of wandering, directionless thoughts, full of noises demanding attention. But right in that helplessness, Moses found strength not from his muscles, but from admitting that he could not do it alone. Healing begins with acknowledgement. Allow yourself to be small tonight. Remove the heavy armor you have worn all day. Admitting weakness does not make you inferior. Rather, it opens the door for divine strength to flood in. Breathe deeply and feel your chest rising and falling gently. You do not need to solve all the world's problems yourself. You do not need to have the answer to every question right now. Your job now is simply to breathe and trust. As the psalm has reminded us of our true position, that we are but dust that has been breathed into with life, unconditionally loved. As a father has compassion on his children, so the Lord has compassion on those who fear him. For he knows how we are formed, he remembers that we are dust. Psalm 103, 13-14. He knows what we are made of. He remembers we are dust. Therefore, he does not demand that you stay awake all night to guard the universe. He does not demand that you worry on his behalf. Sleeplessness often comes from us trying to hold on to things that do not belong to us. Tonight, practice the exercise of humility. Speak to yourself and speak to God most honestly. God, I am tired. I admit that I cannot control tomorrow. I admit that my strength is limited and but when you admit this, do you feel your shoulders lightening? That is the feeling of liberation. No longer having to strain. No longer having to pretend to be strong. Only you remain honest, bare, and fully accepted in the arms of the loving one. Let the notion of your imperfection drift away like clouds passing across the night sky. You do not need to be perfect to sleep well. You do not need to finish everything to rest. Rest is a gift, not a reward for perfection. In this moment of silence, when you have accepted letting go of the controlling ego, your mind begins to make room for a greater presence, like a glass of cloudy water. When left still, the sediment will settle and the water will become clear. Your mind is the same. When you stop stirring it with self-imposed worries, peace will automatically manifest. And now, when we have cleared away the barriers of pride and self-imposed anxiety, when you are ready to stand before him with the mindset of a child needing to be soothed, we will together perform the most sacred act of this evening, That is surrendering. This admission of weakness is the golden key, unlocking the treasure of peace. Because only when your hands no longer grasp tightly onto your problems can those hands open to hand over the burden to the one who has enough strength to carry it all. Prepare yourself to cast it all off completely. Your hands are now opening, palms facing the ceiling, or completely relaxed on the bed. That is the posture of readiness, ready to let go, not to grasp. Visualize in your mind, right before your eyes, a gentle river flowing softly, the river of infinite grace. That cool water reflects the gentle light of the stars. And now, look back at the luggage you have carried throughout this day. Perhaps they are heavy, invisible bags weighing down on your chest. We will not carry them into sleep. We will not let them soil your dreams. Name the first burden. Is it financial worry? Unfinished work? Or numbers dancing in your head causing you stress? Do not hide from it. Look at it. Bundle it into a small stone in your imagination. Can you feel its weight? It has made your shoulders weary. Now, listen to the whisper echoing from ancient times. The invitation to absolute liberation. Cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you. 1 Peter 5:7. He cares for you, not in a general way, but cares about this specific worry of yours. Therefore, use the strength of your will. Take that stone of anxiety and gently, very gently, place it into God's hand, or let it drift along that river of grace. Whisper in your mind, God, I surrender this work worry to you. It is too heavy for me. Please carry it for me tonight. Look, that stone is drifting further away, until it completely disappears. Do you feel your chest lighten a little? That empty space, let peace flood in. Next, look to see if there are any burdens left. Is it the hurt from someone's words, or regret over a past mistake? We often torment ourselves in bed, turning the bed into a court of conscience. But my dear friend, tonight there is no judgment here, only mercy. Gather all those sorrows, those regrets. God does not look at you through your mistakes. He looks at you through love. Give it away. Do not keep it as a keepsake of pain anymore. Say to him, I surrender my past to you. I cannot change it, but you can renew my soul. Feel the liberation. Every finger is relaxing. Every muscle on your face is loosening. There is nothing left to hold tight. All control, all plans for tomorrow, all vague fears about the future. Bundle them all up and offer them up. Imagine you are standing before a throne of peace, and you lay all those burdens down at his feet. You stand up, light, free, like a feather. Repeat after me in your mind the affirmations of surrender. To reprogram your subconscious right now, I surrender. I let go. I trust you. I surrender. I let go. I trust you. Now your mind is like a room that has been cleaned. The cluttered furniture of anxiety has been taken away. The space becomes vast, quiet, and airy. No more noise of struggle. Only the gentle beat of your heart, in rhythm with the operation of the universe. You have done very well. Letting go requires courage, and you have been very courageous tonight. Now, when the burden has been lifted, you are no longer alone fighting against the dark. You are returning to your most primal state, the state of a child nestled in the Father's arms. This feeling of emptiness is not frightening. It is a holy emptiness, the emptiness necessary to be filled by something sweeter, greater. When we cast off the worries of the world, we make room for the promises of heaven. And right when your soul is in its quietest state, most open, is also when the ancient promises begin to flow in, like sweet honey pouring into the depths of your heart. You have finished casting off. Now your body and mind have become light, ready to receive the gifts that God has reserved for the sleep of His beloved. Listen, because the following words are not just words, but the softest pillow, the warmest blanket woven from eternal truth. My dear friend, now, when your mind has become lighter after the prayer of letting go, feel the space around you changing. It is no longer a cold darkness. It is being filled by a warm presence, the presence of ancient promises. Relax your entire body, from the top of your head, spreading down to your forehead, down to your eyes. Let your eyes rest completely. They have seen too many things today. Now is the time they are allowed to close, to see the miracles within. You know, in the noisy world out there, we are often taught that if we want to obtain something, we must strive to seize it. We bring that mindset into bed. We try to sleep. We struggle to seek rest. And the more we try, the more sleep seems to flee. But tonight, I want to invite you to step into a completely different truth, a truth capable of healing the root of the soul's insomnia. That is the perspective of a child listening to the whisper of their father. That sleep is not a reward for whether you have done well or not. Sleep is not a destination you must race to touch. Sleep is a gift. It is grace, freely given. Listen to this beautiful confirmation from the Psalms. Let every word seep deep into your subconscious, like spring rain soaking into dry earth. In vain you rise early and stay up late toiling for food to eat, for He grants sleep to those He loves. Psalm 127:2. For He grants sleep to those He loves. Reflect on this. God grants sleep to those He loves. So, who are those He loves It is not the perfect angels high in heaven. It is you. Right now, right here, with all the imperfections, the scratches on the soul. You are still the beloved. Do you see the vanity that the scripture mentions? In vain you rise early and stay up late. That is an image accurately reflecting our lives. We struggle, calculate, worry about our daily bread. We fear that if we sleep, we will miss an opportunity or a danger will strike. But God says all those efforts without His peace are meaningless. He wants you to stop that vain toil. He wants you to know that, even while you are sleeping, He is still working. He is still rearranging the order of the universe and the order of your life. Take a deep breath and accept this new identity. You are not an insomniac. You are not an anxious person. You are the beloved. Whisper in your mind, I am His beloved. When you realize you are loved, fear will vanish, like a child lying in a cradle. It sleeps well not because it is wealthy, not because it has solved all the world's problems. It sleeps well simply because it knows its parents are there. It knows it is safe. Tonight, return to being that child. Let this scripture become a warm blanket covering your soul. For He grants sleep to those He loves. The word grants means you only need to open your heart to receive. You do not need to pay for sleep with worry. You do not need to exchange for it with torment. Imagine sleep is like a cool stream pouring down from heaven. It flows over the top of your head, soothing the wrinkles on your forehead. It flows down your tense shoulders, softening every muscle fiber. It flows down your chest, slowing down the heartbeat, and it envelops your entire body in absolute peace. Do you feel it? The feeling of being loved is creeping into every cell. Safety does not come from locking doors or turning on lights. Safety comes from the realization that the Creator is watching over you. The ancient Psalms also once uttered a proclamation full of trust, a word I want you to own for yourself tonight. I will lie down and sleep in peace for you alone. O Lord, make me dwell in safety. Psalm 8. I will lie down. That is a decision, an act of will. Even if storms are raging out there, even if human hearts are in turmoil, I still choose to lie down and sleep in peace and moment, because my safety does not depend on circumstances. It depends on Him. For you alone, O Lord, not money, not status, not perfect plans, but you alone. Let these words repeat in your head like a lullaby. Each time you repeat, let your body sink a little deeper. I will lie down. Relax your legs and sleep in peace. Relax your arms. For you alone. Relax your mind. Make me dwell in safety. You are very safe. Visualize you're lying on a small boat, drifting on a quiet lake. The sky full of twinkling stars above, reflecting on the water. The boat bobs gently, rocking you to sleep. No rough waves, no danger, only the serenity of grace. You do not need to row anymore. God's current will take you to the shores of peace. This rest is your right. You deserve to rest, not because you have worked hard, but because you are His child. Do not refuse this gift. Receive it with gratitude. The feeling of sleepiness is getting closer. Your eyelids are getting heavier. That is the sign of peace reigning. That is the sign God is drawing near, gently placing His hand on your eyes and saying, "Sleep, my child, Father is here." And as you begin to feel the sweetness of sleep spreading, as the boundary between reality and dreams begins to blur in the softness of love, we will together explore deeper into the nature of the sleep God grants. It is not just physical rest, but also an experience as sweet as wild honey, and from within the absolute safety of the identity of the beloved. You begin to step into another promised land where sleep is no longer disturbed by nightmares, but becomes calm and sweet, like the millennial promise still echoing. Listen to the next miracle. And as the boat of your soul drifts gently on that river of grace, start to feel the change in the atmosphere around you. A tenderness is enveloping you. The space tonight is no longer cold or empty, but it carries a flavor. Do you smell it? The flavor of peace, the flavor of sweetness. We often hear people wish each other good night, but the Bible brings you a promise 1,000 times more beautiful than that. It is the promise of a sweet sleep. Listen to the whisper from the book of Proverbs, words that have lulled millions of souls to sleep for thousands of years. And tonight, it is reserved specifically for you. When you lie down, you will not be afraid. When you lie down, your sleep will be sweet. Proverbs 3:24. Let each phrase dissolve in your mind. When you lie down, God knows the act of lying down is sometimes truly difficult for you. That is when darkness surrounds. That is when silence makes the noise in your head become deafening. But He promises that, right in that most vulnerable moment, you will not be afraid. Maman's not afraid of the dark, not afraid of wandering thoughts, not afraid of tomorrow, because His presence is greater than your fear. His light penetrates the night, creating an invisible circle of protection around this bed. And what is the result of that fearlessness? Your sleep will be sweet. Sweet. Visualize sleep tonight like a spoonful of pure wild honey, golden, smooth. When it touches your soul, it soothes all the bitterness of life, the bitterness of disappointment, the sourness of hurtful words, the saltiness of tears. All are neutralized by the sweetness of the sleep God grants. Imagine that sweetness spreading from the top of your head down to your heels, soft, warm, and soothing. Why can sleep be so sweet? Because in that sleep, you return to your roots, like a child lost all day long. Hungry and soiled, now washed clean, drinking warm milk, and nestled warm in its mother's lap. That is the sweetness of returning. Saint Augustine, during long nights pondering eternity, realized that true rest is not the extinguishing of consciousness, but the tasting of the flavor of heaven right here on earth. Sweet sleep is when your soul temporarily leaves the burden of the flesh to gently touch eternity. Tell your subconscious right now. Teach your brain what is about to happen. My sleep is sweet. I am safe in His love. Fear has no place here. My sleep is sweet. 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 Do you feel your eyelids sticking together? A heavy but incredibly pleasant sensation. That is the weight of the honey of peace. It is pulling you down, deeper, deeper, into the soft pillow. Do not resist it. Let that sweetness lull you. No nightmare can invade this land of sweetness, because nightmares belong to the dark, while this place is overflowing with the gentle light of the promise. God is filtering the noises of today out of your mind, keeping only the most serene melodies. Your sleep tonight will not be interrupted. It will be seamless, like a stream flowing gently into the great ocean. Breathe deeply in this flavor of well-being. Inhale sweetness and exhale all bitterness, anxiety. Each breath is a step deeper into the quiet garden of the soul. There are no car horns, no phone notification sounds, no urging of deadlines, only the sound of leaves rejoicing in the wind, and the whisper, "My beloved child, sleep now." If suddenly an anxious thought creeps in, smile at it and gently repeat, "Know tonight my sleep will be sweet. God has promised so." God's word is a shield, blocking every arrow of insecurity. You are drifting, drifting, a floating sensation like lying on a pure white cloud. Soft, smooth. That cloud is supporting you. You no longer need to use strength to keep yourself on the bed. Gravity is doing its work, and grace is also doing its work. This sweetness is healing. While you sleep, this sweetness will creep into every nerve cell, soothing hurts, mending cracks, so that tomorrow morning when you wake up, you will find yourself fresh, as if reborn. Enjoy it. Do not rush. There is nowhere you need to go right now. Only here and right now, in this serenity. The peace of God which transcends all understanding. It does not require you to analyze. It only requires you to receive. Let it envelop you like a cool night mist. And as you sink deeper into this state of absolute relaxation, when sweetness has soaked your mind, you will begin to feel an even stronger protection being established around you. Not only inner serenity, but also a divine barrier on the outside, separating you from every danger of the night. Sweetness has filled the inside, and now for that sleep to be complete, God not only grants you a sense of peace, but He also sends the mightiest guards of heaven to watch over your dreams. Rest assured, for you are being protected more strictly than any king or queen on this earth. Can you hear it? The sound of wind rustling through the grass, the sound of the stream flowing gently nearby. We are entering another space together, a space with no four walls, no ceiling, only the vast sky and absolute freedom. Let your imagination soar. Remember, your soul is like a little sheep, and the characteristic of sheep is that they are easily frightened. It will never lie down to sleep if it feels hungry, if it is pestered by insects, or if it feels lonely. Is that the reason you tossed and turned these past nights? Because you felt in want, lacking safety, lacking answers, lacking assurance for the future. But tonight, the loving one comes to you in the form of a benevolent shepherd. He comes to resolve all that lack so that you can lie down. Listen to the greatest declaration of sufficiency, a declaration that has soothed billions of hearts through generations. The Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing. Psalm 23:1. I lack nothing. Whisper this sentence to yourself. This is not a denial of reality. This is a spiritual truth deeper than reality. When you have the greatest shepherd in the universe, you have everything. All your needs. He knows them well before you open your mouth. Feel the tension of worrying about lack leaving your body. You do not need to run around looking for food for the soul anymore. Stop. The shepherd is here, and see what he does for you next. Close your eyes and visualize this scene as clearly as if you were really there. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. Psalm 23:2. He makes me lie down. Pay attention to this verb. He does not invite you to lie down. He does not ask you to lie down, but He gently, lovingly makes you lie down, like a mother placing an exhausted child into a soft cradle. There are times our minds are stubborn, wanting to stand forever, wanting to walk forever, even though our legs are weary. That is the wild nature of a restless soul. We fear that if we lie down, we will lose control. But the gentle shepherd uses his staff of grace to lightly touch your shoulder and say, "That is enough, my child. It is time to rest." Imagine you are lying on a lush green meadow. The grass is soft as velvet beneath your back. The scent of earth, of fragrant grass and trees fills your nose, bringing a feeling of cleanliness, freshness. The cool air caresses your skin. The warm afternoon sunlight covers your eyelids, and beside you are quiet waters. The water does not rush, does not roar, but is flat like a mirror reflecting the soul. The stillness of the water is spreading to you. Your heartbeat is harmonizing with the slow flow of the stream. Inhale the fragrance of the green pasture. Exhale all the dust of the noisy city. In this pasture, there are no deadlines, no pressure to succeed, no blaring horns, only you and the shepherd. He is sitting there, right beside you, guarding your sleep. You do not need to open your eyes to check if wolves are coming. That is his job. Your job is only to enjoy this soft carpet of grass. Saint Augustine once exclaimed during long restless nights, "O Lord, you have made us for yourself, and our heart is restless until it rests in you." And tonight, this green pasture is his very chest, where you find the true rest that the world cannot give. Feel your body sinking deeper into the embrace of Mother Earth. The support of the ground is the support of God's hand. You no longer need to strain to keep balance. Let go completely. Arm muscles, let go. Leg muscles, let go. Spine, completely relax on the soft grass. He refreshes my soul. In this sleep, at this pasture, your soul is being recharged, not just restoring muscle strength, but restoring joy, restoring hope, restoring the purity that life has muddied. Let the shepherd do his work. He knows exactly what kind of grass, what kind of water your soul needs to be healed. You just need to lie still. This holy passivity is the key to deep sleep. Tell your subconscious, I am in green pastures. I am beside quiet waters. The shepherd is guarding me. Green pastures. Quiet waters. I lack nothing. Do you see the space around you expanding? Vast and quiet. Anxious thoughts are now just tiny specks on the far horizon. They can no longer touch you. You are in the absolute safety zone of the shepherd. And when the stillness of the pasture has soaked into your mind, when your breathing has become steady like waves gently lapping the shore, we will move on to an even greater promise. A promise ensuring that even when you sink into unconsciousness, there is still one watching over you, one who never slumbers. Now, when you have lain still on that fresh green pasture, let me tell you about the great guardian. You can sleep soundly because the one who guards your soul never sleeps. He is the eternal lighthouse in the dark, and his eyes have never left you for even a second. The night has grown late. Out there, the world has sunk into slumber. Window lights have gradually faded. The streets are sparse of people. And right now, in the green pasture of your mind, you are also lying very still. But I know, deep within your biological mechanism, there remains a sentinel trying to stay awake. That is the survival instinct. That is the part of the mind always whispering, "If I sleep, who will take care of tomorrow? If I let down my guard, what bad thing will happen?" We fear that if we close our eyes, the order of life will collapse. My dear friend, have compassion on that weary sentinel inside you. It has stood guard all day long. It is exhausted. And the good news for you tonight is it is time for the changing of the guard. You no longer need to stand the night watch for your own life, because a greater one, more powerful, has come to take over this responsibility for you. Listen to the authoritative confirmation from Psalm 121, the song of travelers seeking safety. He will not let your foot slip. He who watches over you will not slumber. Psalm 121, verse 3. He will not let your foot slip. You were afraid of slipping, weren't you? Afraid of going the wrong way? Afraid of wrong decisions? But listen, He is keeping your feet. Even when you are lying motionless, He is still keeping your path steady. And here's the key to deep sleep. Engrave every word of this into your heart. He who watches over you will not slumber. And the next verse confirms even more strongly, indeed, he who watches over Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. Psalm 121:4. Neither slumber nor sleep. Nimrod, reflect on this. In this entire universe, only the Creator does not need to sleep. As for you, you are designed to sleep. Your limitation is, you need rest to exist. His infinity is He is always awake to sustain life. So why do you try to do God's work? Why do you try to stay awake while your guardian is completely alert? Imagine a child on a night bus. It tries to stay awake to watch the road for fear of getting lost. But when it sees its father steady at the wheel, its eyes automatically close. It knows its father is awake, and that is enough. Tonight, God is steering your life. He is keeping watch over your heartbeat. He is keeping watch over your breath. He is keeping watch over your home. He is keeping watch over your loved ones. He does not doze off for even a second. His gaze penetrates the night, foreseeing all dangers and neutralizing them even when you are unaware. Therefore, tell the sentinel in your head, rest now. God is awake. Practice this exercise of entrustment. Visualize yourself holding the key of anxiety, and you place it into God's hand. He receives it and says, I will keep watch until morning. You sleep. This feeling of absolute safety is like you are in a fortified fortress. The Bible describes this protection with a very intimate image. The Lord is your keeper. The Lord is your shade at your right hand. Psalm 121:5. Your shade. He is so close to you, like your own shadow. Right at your right hand. Right beside this bed. You are not alone in the dark. The divine presence is enveloping you like a shield against the wind. Let this realization soften every last bit of resistance. You are allowed to be weak. You are allowed to lose consciousness. You are allowed to sink into dreams, because your safety does not depend on your alertness, but depends on His faithfulness. Repeat the mantra of peace of mind. God is awake so I can sleep. God is watching so I can rest. Inhale. Trust. Exhale. Control. God is awake. I can sleep. Your eyelids are now heavy, seemingly unable to open anymore. It is a sweet surrender. Your body is sinking through the soft mattress, drifting into the sea of infinite peace. All surrounding sounds are fading. Only holy silence remains. In that silence, you hear the beat of the great heart, beating the rhythm of protection. Do not try to think about tomorrow anymore. Tomorrow is taken care of by the one who never sleeps. When you wake up, he is still there. As for now, your only mission is to sleep. Sleep is coming like a gently rising tide, washing you away to the green pastures, to the quiet waters. In the arms of the loving one, you are safe, you are sheltered, you are loved. And as the door of consciousness closes completely, as you step into the world of dreams, we will summon the messengers of light, the powerful angels, to establish a spiritual barrier around your bed so that no darkness, no nightmare can disturb this holy sleep. You are safe in God's hands. And now for your sleep to become an impregnable fortress, we will pray together for God to send his army of heavenly hosts to surround the four corners of your bed. You're lying there, very quiet, very peaceful. Your breathing has become deeper, more regular. You have surrendered your burdens to God. You have known he is the one who never sleeps. But I know, when the night falls heavier, when darkness covers the room, somewhere in the subconscious, you still feel so small. You feel naked before this vast space. You fear what you cannot see. Do not worry, because the truth is, you have never been alone. Even when you lock the door, even when you turn off all the lights, this room is still very crowded. Crowded with the presence of divine messengers. Saint Augustine, with eyes of faith piercing through the night, once reminded us that the invisible world is far more brilliant and real than the visible world we are seeing. If your physical eyes could open right now to see the spiritual reality, you would not see darkness. You would see light, light from the mighty guardians that God has sent specifically for you. Listen to this authoritative command from Psalm 91, the greatest declaration of protection of all time. For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. Psalm 91:11. Let every word soak into your bedroom space. For he will command. Visualize God, the Most High, personally issuing the order. He does not leave you to fate. He actively deploys his army. What is that command? Concerning you. Your name is mentioned in that command. Your safety is heaven's top priority tonight. Nato to guard you in all your ways. And all your ways here includes the way into sleep. Even when you lie still, your mind is still traveling in dreams, and the angels will protect you on that journey. Now, let us together establish this barrier of protection using the power of visualization. Use your mind to see them. Imagine at the four corners of your bed, the right corner at the headboard, the left corner at the headboard, and the two corners at the foot of the bed. There are four huge radiant angels standing guard. They are tall, majestic, and emit a soft blue light, or warm yellow, however you perceive it. They stand there, still as mountains, but full of power. Their wings are folded, creating an invisible shield wall surrounding your bed. Do you feel the air in the room changing? It becomes denser, warmer, and safer. That is the pressure of holiness. No dark force, no evil spirit, no negative energy can pass through the defensive barrier of these angels. Tell your subconscious, I am lying within a circle of protection. There are God's angels on all four sides of my bed. Nothing can touch me. Imagine their wings spreading out, touching each other, forming a dome of light covering above you. You are lying in a cocoon of light, absolutely safe. The Bible writes, "The angel of the Lord encamps around those who fear him, and he delivers them." Psalm 34:7. Encamps around. Your bedroom tonight has become a camp of God. Your bed is the center of that protection. You are the VIP, the most important person protected in the middle. Breathe deep and feel this mighty presence. You do not need to fear strange noises in the night anymore. That may just be the sound of the wind or the gentle footsteps of invisible sentinels patrolling around you. Fear often comes from the feeling of loneliness, but tonight, loneliness has been erased. You are surrounded by love and strength. You are surrounded by warriors who never know defeat. Allow yourself to be small. How would a child lying among giant bodyguards feel? It would feel powerful. It would feel cherished. And above all, it would sleep very well, because it knows that no one dares to touch it. Tonight, sleep with that mindset, the mindset of someone strictly protected. The darkness out there may be vast, but the light around your bed is what holds supreme power. Relax your shoulders that are hunched from fear of the cold. Straighten your legs that are curled up from fear. Expand your chest. Claim the space on this bed. This is your territory. A territory marked for sovereignty by the blood of the Lamb and the guarding of angels. Angels are here. I am guarded. I am safe. Visualize those wings of light gently fanning, creating cool breezes, blowing away all remaining dust of anxiety. Each beat of the wings is a rhythm lulling you into deeper sleep. Deeper. Safer. More peaceful. You do not need to try to visualize anymore. Just believe. Just accept this truth. that right now. There are benevolent eyes watching your every breath. They will be there all tonight, until the first light of dawn shines into the window. They will not leave anywhere. And when you are absolutely reassured in the encirclement of the angels, when the fear of the outside world has been completely repelled, we will together face another more subtle enemy, an enemy that does not come from outside, but sometimes appears right within your very sleep. That is nightmares and the attack of sleep paralysis. Outside, there are angels guarding the camp has been established. But what about inside the mind? Sometimes darkness does not knock on the door, but it sneaks right into dreams. Do not fear, for we are about to equip you with shield of faith to extinguish all flaming arrows of nightmares, turning your sleep into an inviolable sanctuary. Your room is now enveloped by the light of angels. The outside is safe, but I know. Sometimes the enemy does not come from the window or the main door, but lurks right within the winding corridors of your mind. Do you often fear closing your eyes, for fear that chaotic images will rush in? Do you fear the feeling of a heavy weight on your chest? Wanting to scream but making no sound? That cold sensation people often call sleep paralysis. Or simply bizarre, exhausting dreams that make you wake up with a pounding heart. Tonight, we will no longer run away from those fears. We will face them, but not with trembling, but with the calmness of one who holds the truth. Recall the times when your soul was restless, questioning yourself in the deep night. The feeling of helplessness before the invisible phantoms of the mind. That is not the time to panic. That is the time to declare sovereignty. Listen to the powerful affirmation from the book of 2 Timothy, a declaration capable of dispelling all evil spirits. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. 2 Timothy 1:7. Let us analyze this weapon. For God has not given us a spirit of fear. Identify the enemy. Fear does not come from God. If it does not come from Him, then it has no right to dwell in the temple of your soul. It is an illegal intruder, and you have the right to expel it. What does He give you? But of power, point of love, and of a sound mind? A sound mind, a whole mind, peaceful, not chaotic. That is your heritage. Do not let nightmares steal that heritage. If tonight, or any night, darkness tries to creep into your dreams, or a heavy feeling presses on your chest, do not try to struggle with muscular strength. Do not try to scream in vain. Do something simpler, gentler, but 1,000 times more powerful. Whisper or resonate in your mind the noblest name, the name that is a strong tower to which the righteous run and are safe, the name of Jesus. Just that name is enough. When light appears, darkness is forced to vanish. That is a physical law and also a spiritual law. You do not need to fight the darkness. You just need to turn on the light. And his name is the light switch. Imagine your mind right now is like a house with many windows. Anxieties, negative images from movies, from news, from rumors, are like dust and smoke trying to fly in. Now, by the power of peace, go to each window of the senses and close them. Close your eyes tight against evil images. Close your ears tight against lying whispers. Close your mind tight against bad scenarios. Tell your soul, I seal this mind with the peace of God. I seal this dream with his love. No negative energy is allowed to step across this line. Feel the cleansing taking place, like a stream of holy water flowing through your brain, washing away sad memories, washing away obsessions, washing away bitterness. Wherever the water flows, clarity appears there. The black clouds in your head are dissolving, making way for a clear sky. If you have ever experienced sleep paralysis, look at it in a different way. Do not regard it as an attack. Regard it as a reminder for you to return to refuge. Right in that moment of immobility, relax completely and say, God, I belong to you. Please protect me. Panic will disappear and be replaced by a strangely peaceful sleep. You know, your sleep is holy ground. God wants to meet you in dreams. He wants to give you visions, answers, creative ideas while you sleep. But to receive that, we must clear away the trash of fear. Visualize a filtering net of golden light covering your head. This net only allows good things to pass through. Beautiful dreams, messages of love, restorative rest will pass through this net. As for nightmares, fear, chaos, they will be kept outside and vanish into nothingness. Breathe very deeply. Inhale courage. Exhale timidity. God has not given me fear. I have a sound mind. A sound mind. Sound mind. Peace. You are in control, not by straining, but by trusting. A feeling of lightness is taking over you. The head heavy with thoughts is now light as cotton. The phantoms of the past or future can no longer scare you, because you are hiding in the shadow of the Almighty. In the shadow of those wings, you are hidden from the enemy's sight. The wicked will pass by and not find you, because you have been hidden in God's peace. Rest assured, your mind is clean, your soul has been sealed, the door has closed to the world and opened to heaven. And now, when nothing exits from within, nothing enters from without, when you are absolutely safe from both within and without, we will come to the most beautiful metaphor of protection. Not only a sentinel, God is also a shield, a strong fortress where you can completely hide yourself. Fear has vanished. The mind has been washed clean. Now, let me lead you to a shelter more solid than rock, where God appears not just as a protector from afar, but envelops you like a great shield, shielding you from every arrow that flies by day and pestilence that stalks in darkness. You are in a very special space. Feel the layer of air around your body right now. It is not just empty air, but it is becoming dense, weaving an invisible protective shell, but more solid than any metal on Earth. We often think of a shield as a screen that only covers the front to block incoming arrows. But God's shield is completely different. It is not a handheld shield, but a closed circle. Listen to the praise of King David, who went through so many dangerous dark nights in the wilderness. When he described this protection, "But you, Lord, are a shield around me, my glory, the one who lifts my head high." Psalm 3:3. A shield around me. Pay attention to the word around. Front, back, left, right, overhead, and even underfoot. You are fully enveloped. No gaps, no blind spots. Imagine you're curling up, curled inside a great sphere of light. Outside that sphere, storms may be roaring. Life's worries may be trying to creep in, but they only crash against that shell and vanish. You are in the eye of the storm of peace. No matter how chaotic the outside world is, at this center, where you are lying, everything remains absolutely still. Whisper to your soul, "I am surrounded. I am hidden." The Psalms also give us another metaphorical image, strong and solid as rock. The Lord is my rock, my fortress, and my deliverer. Psalm 18:2. My rock? Feel the solidity of the bed you are lying on. Regard it as a symbol of the Rock of Ages. You can drop all your weight onto it. This rock never shakes. It has stood there since before you were born and will stand there forever. My fortress. Visualize your mind retreating inside a fortified citadel. You pull up the drawbridge. You close the city gates. All noise, gossip, struggle are left outside the deep moat. In this fortress, there is only you and rest. And when you are safe in the fortress, remember the image of the shepherd we met in the green pastures. Night falls, the shepherd does not leave. He comes closer than ever. When darkness covers the valley, when you feel dark shadows flickering, that is when you need to see his weapons. Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. Psalm 23:4. The darkest valley. Perhaps you're going through a difficult stage in life, and sleep becomes a terrifying valley. But look, for you are with me. His presence changes the nature of the valley. Darkness is no longer a threat, but becomes a protective curtain for you to sleep better. And look at his hands, your rod and your staff. The rod is for protection. Any wild beast, any nightmare intending to attack you, his rod will drive them away immediately. You do not need to defend yourself. He has the weapon to do that. The staff is to lead and pull you close. When your mind wanders, worries aimlessly. His curved staff will gently hook you, pulling you back to the safe position beside him. They comfort me. Protection is the greatest comfort. Knowing that there is a one strong enough to fight on your behalf, that is the most effective sedative. Take a deep breath and feel this comfort spreading in your chest. You are not a lone warrior tonight. You are a protected child. Tell the darkness, I do not fear you, for my God's rod is here. Imagine the shepherd tapping the rod on the ground. Each tap is a count, taking you into deeper sleep. 1, you are safe within the shielding circle. 2, you are steady on the rock. 3, his rod is driving away all fear. Snuggle deeper into the warm blanket, like a little bird nestling into a rock crevice. No one can find you here. You have become invisible to the enemy's eyes. You are hidden in the palm of the Most High. A pleasant, tingling sensation is spreading from your toes to the top of your head. Your body is gradually turning off alert modes. The red light is off. The green light of healing has turned on. The walls of this fortress are built with unconditional love. It is completely soundproofed against the world's judgments. Here you are accepted. Here you are safe to be yourself, weak, tired, and in need of rest. Enjoy this impregnability. Your sleep tonight is warranted by a millennial promise. There is no rush. There is nothing to worry about. Only holy silence remains, and your steady breathing, harmonizing with the rhythm of the universe. And when your body has completely surrendered within this strict protection, when you know that nothing evil can touch you, that is when the next miracle happens. Sleep is not just rest, but it becomes a spiritual hospital where the deepest hidden wounds will be healed in silence. You have been enveloped, sheltered, and the enemy has been pushed far back from the boundary of your sleep. Now, in this absolutely clean and safe space, let the great healer enter. He comes not to fight anymore, but to mend, to restore every cell, every fragment in your soul as you sink into deep sleep. You are enveloped in the shield. You're hidden within the fortress. But I know life is sometimes not like a quiet green pasture. There are nights when your mind is like a raging ocean. Thoughts rush in. One anxiety hasn't passed. Another fear arrives, like white-capped waves crashing against the hull of your soul's boat. You feel unsteady. You feel disoriented. You feel like the water is about to flood in, and you fear sinking under the pressure. Do not fear. Keep lying there. And let me take you to a true story. A story containing the secret of supernatural sleep. Imagine you are on a small boat in the middle of the Sea of Galilee in the dark night. The wind is howling. The waves are tossing white foam. The people on the boat, experienced fishermen, are panicking. They run around, bailing water, screaming, trying to control the situation. That is the image of your mind during insomnia, trying to control everything in vain. But at the stern of that boat, and there was a completely contrasting scene. There was a man sleeping. He laid his head on a cushion and slept soundly, ignoring the howling wind, ignoring the rocking boat. He still slept. That is Jesus. Why could he sleep in that circumstance? Did he not care? No. He slept because he knew well who holds control over this ocean. He slept because he had an inner peace greater than the outer storm. And here is the lesson for you tonight. Safety does not mean the absence of storms. Safety is being on the same boat with God. If the one holding the universe in the palm of his hand can calmly sleep well, then you, his little child, why must you stay awake to fear? You are not the captain. You are a passenger. Your job is not to bail water. Your job is to lie down beside him. Visualize yourself tiptoeing near the stern, where God is sleeping. You see his peaceful face. That peace is miraculously contagious. You gently lie down beside him, pillowing your head on trust. Outside waves still crash, but here, beside him, it is truly warm and steady. And if the waves of anxiety in your head are still too noisy, making you unable to doze off, look at what he does. When the disciples woke him up in fear, he did not panic. He stood up, stretched, looked straight at the storm, and spoke a simple yet authoritative word. Listen to this command, and let it echo in your chaotic mind right now. Peace, be still. Mark 4:39. Peace. Be still, Mat. Immediately, the wind stopped blowing. The waves lay flat. The sea became calm as a sheet. A great tranquility enveloped the space. Now, borrow that authority of his. Speak to the thoughts running in your head. Peace, be still. Speak to the worry about tomorrow. Peace, be still. Speak to the heart beating fast. Peace, be still. You have that power because the Prince of Peace is in you. Imagine the sea surface of your soul gradually calming down. Angry waves are now just gentle ripples, rippling, then completely flat. The boat of your life is no longer rocking. It is drifting gently, very gently, floating, soft, like a cradle rocked by the Father's hand. The silence now is truly sweet. No more noise of struggle, only the steady breathing of life. You realize darkness is not as scary as you thought. When the storm clears, the night sky appears beautiful with thousands of twinkling stars. God has turned the storm into a love song to lull you to sleep. Relax your muscles completely. From toes up to calves, thighs, hips, abdomen, chest, shoulders, neck, and the entire face. Your body is melting, merging into the serenity of the ocean of peace. You do not need to keep yourself afloat anymore. God's grace is the ocean, and you just sink. The deeper you sink, the safer. Saint Augustine once contemplated, God rules over the surging waves of the human heart. Tonight, He is ruling within you. All chaos has been quelled. Heaven's order has been reestablished in your sleep. Enjoy this silence. The silence after the storm is the deepest silence. It brings healing. It brings strength. Believe that whatever happens tomorrow, the one who has the power to say, "Peace, be still," is always there with you. He never leaves your boat. So, sleep. Sleep well, deeply. As Jesus slept on that soft cushion. Peace, be still. Peace. Still. There is nothing left to worry about. It is finished. Tonight is yours. Peace is yours. And when the sea of the heart is calm, when the body is protected within the divine shell, and the mind has obeyed the authority of silence, that is when we are ready to allow healing to take place at the deepest level. Not just rest, but regeneration. God will work on your weary cells, stitching up the tears of emotion so that you wake up as a new person. The storm has passed, the sea is calm, and the boat of your soul is drifting into the harbor of restoration. Now, open your heart to receive God's miraculous healing light, so that this sleep is not just oblivion, but a miracle of rebirth for your body, mind, and soul. My dear friend, you have come a long way to reach this moment. Your body is lying still. Your mind has stopped fighting. The protective barrier has been erected. And now, in this absolutely holy and safe space, allow a miraculous process to begin. Visualize. Your bedroom is not just a place to sleep, but it is transforming into a sanctuary of healing. Like a silkworm cocoon, where the worm sleeps peacefully, waiting for the day to become a butterfly. You are also lying in God's cocoon of grace, to be regenerated in strength. Saint Augustine, in his most secret prayers, once admitted that the human body is a temple, but a temple of clay, fragile, easily tired, and always needing the hand of the potter to repair it every day. Today you have used this body to labor, to shoulder burdens, to worry. Muscles are tense. Eyes are weary. The brain has worked at full capacity. But God, the one who designed you, knows exactly what you need right now. He did not create sleep as a waste of time. He created sleep as a gift of restoration. Listen to the powerful promise of healing from the book of Jeremiah, a promise for those who are exhausted. But I will restore you to health and heal your wounds, declares the Lord. Jeremiah 30:17. I will restore you to health. Pay attention. This is a declaration. A certain promise? Not maybe, but I can, but I will. Feel this promise touching your body. Direct your attention to your feet, the feet that have walked back and forth all day. Now, relax completely. Imagine God's healing hand soothing the calf muscles. All tension is vanishing, replaced by softness, warmth. Direct your attention to your shoulders, where invisible burdens often reside. Exhale and let your shoulders drop, sinking deep into the mattress. It feels like a stream of fragrant oil is being anointed on your shoulders, soothing every ache. And heal your wounds. There are wounds you see, but there are also microscopic injuries in cells that you do not see, but God sees. And right while you are sound asleep, He sends His life into every blood vessel, every cell, to mend, to repair. You do not need to do anything. You do not need to try to get well. Your duty is only to rest completely. Recall the story of the prophet Elijah in the Bible. There was a time he was too tired, exhausted to the point of wanting to give up everything under the broom tree. He no longer had enough strength to pray, no longer enough strength to trust. And what did God do? He did not force him to get up and continue working. He did not preach morality to him. He let him sleep, and He sent an angel to bring bread and water for him. Then let him sleep again. God's healing is sometimes simply a deep sleep. Tonight, you are Elijah under that tree. God knows you are tired. And He says, "Sleep, my child. Let me take care of everything else." Feel the healing energy spreading throughout your body, from the top of the head, down to the neck, back, waist. Each breath is a pump of new energy into the lungs. Inhale, new life. Exhale, old fatigue. Imagine you are lying floating in a sacred hot spring. This water is mixed from God's love and power. It is washing away all toxins of stress. It is softening the calluses in the soul. Do you feel your body getting heavier? That is a pleasant weight, like you are being covered by a thick and warm duvet. Your body is sinking into a state of hibernation for recovery. In medicine, sleep is when the immune system works strongest. In spirituality, sleep is when your soul is reconnected to the source of life. Do not underestimate this sleep. This is a painless spiritual surgery that God is performing for you. Repeat this affirmation in your mind to allow your body to receive healing. My body is a temple, and God is cleansing it. I receive His healing rest. Healing. Restoring. Renewing. Let these words float in your head like clouds. No need to analyze, just feel. The tingling warm sensation in the palms, soles of the feet. That is the sign of life flowing. You are being recharged. like a phone needs to be plugged in. You are being connected to the universe's infinite energy source. Tomorrow morning when you wake up, you will find your eyes brighter, your legs lighter, and your heart stronger. But now is not the time to think about tomorrow morning. Now is the time to enjoy this soothing, charging process. Relax the jaw muscles. Part the lips slightly. Let the tongue relax. Erase every wrinkle on the forehead. Your face is now peaceful like a flat lake surface. God is watching you. He smiles seeing his child finally willing to rest. He is stroking your hair, soothing your nerves. I will restore you. I will restore you. That promise keeps echoing, quieter, quieter, taking you into a deeper level of the subconscious. Where healing happens most powerfully is where consciousness is completely absent. Therefore, let consciousness drift away. Let yourself free fall into his healing arms. Your body is grateful to you for this sleep. Every cell is rejoicing for being rested. You're doing a very good thing for yourself. Loving yourself is allowing yourself to sleep well in God. And when your physical body has begun that miraculous regeneration process, when every muscle fiber has softened and accepted rest, we will go deeper together. Not only is the body damaged after a long day, but your mind and emotions are also full of invisible scratches. A special holy oil is needed to soothe the pains of memory and emotion. Your body is being cared for by the great physician, but what about your heart? Nameless sorrows, smoldering heart wounds. They also need to be healed. Rest assured, because in the next part, we will ask God to bind up the broken-hearted so you can find complete peace from within. Your body is sinking deep into rest, soft and relaxed, but I know there is another place inside you that is still aching. That is your heart. That is your mind. When night falls, when all outside noise fades away, that is when inner voices resonate most clearly. Is it that somewhere in your chest, there is still the stinging pain of a hurtful word? Is your mind still replaying the reels of regret, of what-ifs, or simply a vast, nameless sadness, a feeling of loneliness amidst this vast universe? You do not need to hide those things tonight. We often try to appear strong during the day. We wear smiling masks, but tonight, before the Creator, you are allowed to take that mask off. He sees the scratches in your soul. He sees the broken pieces you are trying to glue back together. And the good news for you is, He comes not to judge why you broke. He comes to do a job that only He can do. Listen to the gentlest confirmation in the Bible, a promise reserved for bleeding hearts. He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. Psalm 147, Shrebi 3. Let every word seep into your wound, like antiseptic. Initially, it might sting a bit, But then comes soothing relief. He heals the broken-hearted devotee. Broken-hearted. Do you feel you were ever broken? Perhaps because of a broken relationship, the loss of a loved one, or unfulfilled dreams. God does not walk away when you are broken. He is closest to you at that moment. The Bible says He is close to those who have a broken heart. And what does He do? Opit and binds up their wounds. Binds up. Visualize this action like a dedicated nurse. He gently washes the wound, applies medicine, and uses pure white gauze to wrap it. He holds the broken pieces together so they have time to heal. He does not let you stop the bleeding yourself. His hands are doing that for you. Imagine there is a flask of holy fragrant oil from heaven being poured down onto your soul. This oil stream is warm, golden, and fragrant with love. It is flowing into the cracks of your heart. It creeps into sad memories, softening hard scars. Tell God about your pain. No need for words, just by thought. God, this place hurts so much. God, I am so sad. And feel Him placing His warm hand on your left chest. The warmth from His hand is transferring to you. He is saying, I know, I understand, and I am here. In this sleep, God will go into your subconscious to remove toxic thorns, criticisms that others threw at you. God will pluck them out. Feelings of inferiority, God will wash them away. You know, the great Saint Augustine also once carried within him a heart full of scars from a misguided and painful past. He once wept bitterly in a desolate garden, but right in those tears, he found healing. He realized that tears are the language of the heart, and God understands that language. Tonight, if you want to cry, let the tears fall. Do not hold back. Every tear shed is a portion of the toxin of sadness being released, and God cherishes every single tear. The Bible says He keeps our tears in His bottle. Let go of bitterness. Forgiveness is also a healing medicine. Forgive others and forgive yourself. You have done the best you could. Do not torment yourself over past things anymore. Inhale. Forgiveness. Exhale. Torment. It is finished. Borrow the final words of Jesus on the cross to apply to the pain of the past. That pain has ended. It no longer has power over you. You are not a victim of the past. You are a masterpiece being healed in the present. Visualize your heart being wrapped in a soft gauze of grace. It is beating peaceful beats again, no longer skipping beats due to anxiety, no longer tightening due to fear. One beat at a time. Slowly. Strong. Steady. He binds up my wounds. I am being healed. Healed. Whole. Loved. A feeling of relief is spreading in the chest, like a 1,000-pound rock has just been lifted off. The space inside you becomes airy. The light of healing is filling the dark places. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to be at peace. Your soul, though having many scars, those scars are shining. In the Japanese art of pottery, they use gold to mend cracks, making the item more precious. God is doing the same with you. He uses His love to bind the broken pieces, turning you into a masterpiece more beautiful than before. Rest assured and sleep well. The healing process is still continuing, even when you are unaware. Tomorrow morning, when waking up, the wound will close, the pain will subside, and you will find yourself more courageous to love once again. Let your heart rest. It has worked hard to feel, to love, to hurt. Now is the time for it to rest in the Creator's hands. Sleep. Gentle heart. Sleep. Busy mind. Everything will be all right. Because the great physician is on duty beside your sickbed, and when healing has begun to soothe the smoldering pains, when your heart has found its inherent peaceful rhythm, we will prepare to step into a new stage, not just healing old wounds, but granting you new strength, a supernatural strength, so that tomorrow you will not only wake up and walk, but you will soar high like an eagle. The wound has been bandaged, the pain has been soothed, but God not only wants you whole, He wants you strong. In this deep sleep, a miracle of metamorphosis is about to happen. Prepare to receive a new source of strength, a strength that makes the weary become robust and the weak become mighty, like a phoenix reborn from ashes. You're lying there, but your spirit is preparing for a long journey, not by weary earthly feet, but by the wings of faith. Be honest with yourself. There are days you feel your strength is like a dried up river. You try to walk, but every step is heavy like wearing lead. You feel enthusiasm fading, like a flickering oil lamp. That is the inevitable law of humans. We are finite. Our energy is finite. But tonight, you are being connected to an infinite source of energy. God not only wants to heal your wounds, He also wants to completely renew the engine inside you. Listen to the great promise from the book of Prophet Isaiah, the promise that has raised millions of falling souls. He gives strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak. Isaiah 40:29. He gives strength. Visualize this strength is a gift, not a wage. You do not need to work to earn it. You only need to be weary to qualify to receive it. Whom does He give it to? To the weary. So if you are weary, congratulations. You are the brightest candidate for this miracle. Imagine you are performing the divine exchange. Visualize your weariness as an old, heavy, dusty cloak. Now, in your mind. Take that cloak off, cast it down. It falls to the floor and vanishes into nothingness. And God is draping a new cloak over your shoulders, the cloak of strength, the cloak of power. It is light, yet contains the power of thunder. But how to receive that strength? The secret lies in a single verb in the next Bible verse, a verb we often misunderstand. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. Isaiah 40:31. In other translations, the word hope is also translated as wait. Those who wait upon the Lord. Waiting here is not sitting idly in boredom, but it is like a rope tightly braided to an anchor. Wait means binding your life to God, so His vitality flows to you. Your sleep tonight is the most wonderful act of waiting upon the Lord. When you sleep, you are ceasing to strive with your own strength, to let God begin working. And what is the result of that waiting? Will renew their strength. The word renew here brings to mind the image of the eagle. It is said that when an eagle grows old, it flies to a high mountain, breaks its old beak, plucks out old feathers, to grow a new, stronger set. Tonight, in this sleep, you are undergoing that process of metamorphosis. Every old weak cell is being replaced. New life is sprouting within you. Visualize. You're no longer lying on the bed. You're standing on a soaring mountain peak. The wind is blowing fiercely, and from behind you, a huge pair of wings is stretching out, the wings of an eagle. They will soar on wings like eagles. Feel the incredible lightness. These wings are not for flapping tirelessly, but for soaring. The eagle does not use strength to fly. It relies on the wind current. It lets the wind lift it up. Your life is the same. Do not try to use your own strength to fight the storm anymore. Spread wide the wings of faith and let the wind of the Holy Spirit lift you up. Inhale, the feeling of being uplifted. Exhale, the feeling of gravity pulling you down. You're flying up, higher, higher. Look down there. Your worries, your problems are now just tiny as grains of sand. At this altitude, the air is so pure. At this altitude, you see the panoramic picture. You realize you are not stuck in a maze. You're flying above it. Absolute freedom. Nothing binds you. The weight of daily livelihood has disappeared. Only you and God's vast sky remain. Tell your subconscious, I am flying on eagle's wings. My strength is being renewed. I will not grow weary. The Bible continues the promise. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. Tomorrow, when you wake up, you will feel the difference. You will walk with steady steps. You will race against challenges without getting out of breath. because the fuel source within you is no longer limited human strength, but infinite divine strength. Enjoy this floating sensation in your dream. Let your mind travel in the space of grace. Every moment you sink deep into sleep is a moment you are filling up the tank of divine energy. Just like a phone when plugged in, it must lie still. You too, lie still. Do not disconnect. Let the current of life flow into every corner of the soul. The psalmist once exclaimed from the depths of his heart, "My flesh and my heart may fail, but God is the strength of my heart." That is right. Your strength may run out, but His strength is infinite. And tonight, He is pouring that infinity into your finiteness. Feel your chest expanding, receiving the new breath of life. Cells are vibrating with new vitality. Fatigue has been completely repelled. You are stronger than you think, not because you are talented, but because the one in you is strong. Sleep, O warrior of light. Sleep to take flight tomorrow. Sleep to conquer new heights tomorrow. The sky is yours. The wings are ready. And as you are hovering in that wonderful feeling of freedom and power, when body and soul have been filled with regenerative energy, we will come to the final part of this chapter. A complete regeneration that stops not only at strength, but is the restoration of joy and the freshness of youth, like early morning dew. The eagle's wings have taken you high, escaping the grip of fatigue. But God has one more gift for your sleep. That is the renewal of the soul's youth, so that every morning when you wake up, you do not feel old and barren, but fresh like morning dew on a blade of grass. Receive the final miracle of tonight. You are flying on eagle's wings, but now gently land. Land in a magnificent garden within your mind, a garden drenched in morning dew. The air here is cool, pure, and sweet. You know, what ages us the fastest is not time. It is anxiety. It is the callousness of emotions. It is the disappointment accumulated over the days that makes our hearts wrinkled and dry. There are those who are only 20, but whose souls are already old. But there are also those whose hair is gray, yet whose souls remain as fresh and young as a child. Tonight, God wants to grant you that youthfulness. He wants to wash away the layer of worldly dust clinging to your soul. He wants you to wake up tomorrow with crystal clear eyes, looking at life as if seeing it for the very first time. Listen to the wonderful promise in Psalm 103, a promise of fulfillment and renewal, who satisfies your desires with good things, so that your youth is renewed like the eagles. Psalm 103, 5. Reflect on the phrase, satisfies your desires. The human soul is a restless abyss, always hungering, always seeking. We seek satisfaction in money and fame, in human affection. But the more we drink the water of the world, the thirstier we become. And that very thirst exhausts us. But tonight, the originator is pouring his good things into your soul. That is peace. That is unconditional love. That is hope. Feel the satisfaction rising, like someone who has just partaken of a lavish feast and is now reclining in fullness, craving nothing more, lacking nothing more. Every void in your heart has been filled. And what is the result of that satisfaction? So that your youth is renewed. Youth. Here is not a number on paper. It is a state of the soul. It is innocence, trust, joy. When you sleep in God's hands, He is pressing the reset button for your soul. He deletes the data of bitterness, doubt, fatigue, and reinstalls the factory reset mode, the mode in which He created you from the beginning. Very good. Imagine a gentle spring rain falling, sparkling rain of grace, falling upon your face, smoothing out the wrinkles of anxiety on your forehead, falling upon your eyes, washing away the gloomy view of life, falling upon your heart, softening the hardened places. Feel the freshness creeping into every skin cell. Your flesh feels as if it is being revived, bursting with vitality. Soft and warm, you are returning to being a child. Jesus once said, "Unless you become like little children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven." And tonight, to enter the heaven of sleep, you also need to become like a child. No calculation, no defense, sleeping soundly because you know your Father is awake. Smile gently, a smile from within, feeling light as gossamer. You are no longer an adult full of problems. You are the beloved child of the universe. Tell your subconscious, I am renewed. I am fresh. I am satisfied. Renewed. Fresh. Satisfied. Visualize tomorrow morning when the first rays of sunlight shine into the room. You will stretch and wake up and feel as if you have just been born again. All the burdens of yesterday have been left behind on the shores of tonight's dream. You will step into the new day with a joyful heart, eager to discover the gifts that God has reserved for you. But that is a story for tomorrow. For now, enjoy this process of bathing the soul. Let the cool waters of peace flow through you, washing away all sorrow, washing away all aging. The more you let go, the fresher you become. The deeper you sink, the more you are filled. The silence around you is no longer empty, but thick with the presence of love. A love that makes one young again. Sleep in absolute contentment. Nothing left to ask for. Nothing left to seek. All treasures are here, in this stillness. Your body has been healed. Your mind has been purified. Your strength has been regenerated. The youth of your soul has been revived. You are ready, ready to step into an even more mysterious land, where consciousness completely fades, giving way to supernatural communication, where dreams are not merely chaotic images, but become love letters, instructions from heaven. The temple of the soul is clean, the light has been lit. Now, lie still and wait, because God is about to speak to you in a very unique way in the language of dreams. All preparations are complete. You have been washed clean from body to soul. Now, as you step through the door of deep sleep, do not just drift into oblivion. Prepare your heart to receive. For in that quiet night, when human voices have fallen silent, God often chooses to whisper his secrets into the ears of those who sleep. My dear friend, at this very moment, you are in the most wonderful state of existence. Your body has been completely relaxed, sinking deep into rest. Your mind has been washed clean like a transparent sheet of glass. Your heart has been healed and is beating rhythms of peace. You have done a great job of powering down from the outside world. And when the doors of the earthly senses close, that is the very moment the door of the spiritual senses opens. Have you ever wondered why God often chooses to grant the most important visions at night? Why not in the harsh noon sun? Why not amidst the noisy markets? Because God's voice is often a still small voice. And during the day, our lives are too noisy. The voice of worries, the voice of ambition, the voice of chaotic news, all have drowned out his whisper. We are too busy telling God what we want, that we forget to be silent to hear what he wants to say. Saint Augustine, in his Journey Seeking Truth, realized that God is always there, always speaking, but the agitation in our hearts created a soundproof wall. Only when the soul settles to the bottom, like the lake surface tonight, can we hear the echo from the eternal realm. Tonight, your sleep is not just biological rest, it is a divine appointment. God has waited for you all day, waiting for this moment when you are willing to lie still, so he can confide in you. Listen to an amazing truth recorded in the book of Job, a truth that will completely change how you view your sleep. For God does speak now, one way now another, though no one perceives it. In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falls on people as they slumber in their beds, he may speak in their ears and terrify them with warnings. Job 33:14-16. Let's go deep into every word. In a dream, in a vision of the night. Dreams are not meaningless randomness of the brain. They are a communication channel, a secret frequency that God uses. When deep sleep falls on people, it is when you are most unconscious, when your controlling consciousness completely surrenders. That is when your soul is most awake to receive. And what happens next? In another English translation, the next verse writes, "Then he opens the ears of men and seals their instruction." He opens the ears, not the physical ears pressing against the pillow, but the ears of the heart. Tonight, ask God to perform that miracle for you. Imagine he is gently touching your spiritual hearing, clearing every blockage so you can hear heaven's frequency, and seals their instruction. The word seal here is very beautiful. It means God places an instruction, an idea, or a solution deep into your subconscious, and He seals it so it cannot be stolen. Maybe tomorrow morning when you wake up, you won't remember the details of the dream, but that instruction has been installed into your operating system. And when you face a problem, naturally you will know how to solve it. That is the wisdom coming from sleep. You don't need to try to hunt for strange dreams. You just need to keep a ready mindset. Recall the boy Samuel in the temple of old. When he was sleeping, God called his name. At first he didn't realize. He thought it was a human voice. That confusion is just like us, often confusing God's voice with our own wandering thoughts. But when instructed, Samuel lay down again and uttered the simplest yet most powerful prayer, "Speak, Lord, for your servant is listening." 1 Samuel 3:9. Tonight, I want you to do exactly the same. Turn your bed into the Holy of Holies. Lie still and pray silently in your mind. Speak, Lord. I am listening. Let go of the need to understand immediately. Let go of the need to see clear images. Just listen in the silence. This listening is an act of humility. It says, God, my intellect is limited. I need your guidance. Perhaps He will speak of comfort. Perhaps He will show you the direction for a dead-end job. Perhaps He will warn you to stay away from some trap. Or simply, He just wants to say, I love you. Whatever the message is, it will bring life. Imagine your mind right now is like a flat lake surface under the moonlight. Any pebble that God drops will create clear, rippling waves. You are no longer a noisy market. You are a quiet temple. Inhale the stillness of the night. Exhale all self-prejudices. Open my ears, Lord. Seal your instruction in my heart. Open my ears. Seal your instruction. The feeling of peace flooding your mind right now is the sign that God is present. His presence does not cause uproar. It is gentle, like deep flowing water. You are drifting gradually into sleep, but not drifting into dark unconsciousness, but drifting into the arms of the revealer of visions. Trust that, while your body sleeps soundly, your soul will have an interesting conversation with the Creator. Do not worry if you do not see anything. Sometimes God's silence is also an answer. He is training patience and calmness for you. But usually, the greatest ideas, the most breakthrough solutions, will come when you least expect them, right in this sleep. Relax, deeper. All external senses have turned off completely. Only the spiritual lamp is burning brightly inside. That lamp is waiting for the holy oil of revelation. And when your mindset has shifted from an anxious person seeking sleep to a student waiting for teaching, when spiritual ears have been opened to receive the purest frequencies, we will together explore great examples in history. People who changed their destiny and the world after just one dream. And tonight, you can also receive a dream like that. Ears are opened, heart is ready. You have become the Samuel of modern times. Now let me tell you about dreams that changed the course of history, so you see that God can totally hand you the key to success and wisdom right tonight, just as He did with the chosen ones of old. Are you still listening? Or have you started drifting on the border between reality and dreams wherever you are? Know that you are in a special classroom, a place where God has taught the greatest people in history. Remember Joseph in the Bible. That young man with the coat of many colors was thrown into a deep pit, sold as a slave, and imprisoned in a cold dungeon. Perhaps your life also has such invisible prisons. The prison of debt, the prison of deadlock in work, the prison of broken relationships. In the darkness of that prison, Joseph could not find a way out with his physical eyes, but God opened a way out for him through dreams. It was in sleep that God granted Joseph the ability to decode mysteries that no wise man could. The solution for an entire nation came to him while everyone was sleeping. Tonight, believe that God can also hand you the key to open the door of your prison. The problem that you have been racking your brain over all week. Let go of it. Let God place the answer into your dream tonight. And remember Solomon, the wisest king of all time. The most important conversation of his life did not take place on a dazzling throne, but took place in a dream at Gibeon. When he was sleeping, God appeared and made the most generous offer in the universe. Ask for whatever you want me to give you. 1 Kings 3:5. Imagine, right now, the Creator is standing beside your bed asking you that question. What will you ask for? Money, fame, or revenge on those who harmed you? Solomon, in the silence of the dream, did not ask for those things. He realized his limitations. He saw himself as a child who did not know how to go out or come in amidst the busy currents of life. And he asked for the most essential thing. So give your servant a discerning heart to govern your people and to distinguish between right and wrong. Kings 3:9. A discerning heart. In other versions, it means a hearing heart. That is the pinnacle of wisdom. Tonight, before your consciousness turns off completely, borrow Solomon's prayer. Do not ask God to change circumstances immediately. Ask Him to grant you a hearing heart, to hear His guidance in every decision, to distinguish between what is an opportunity and what is a trap. Pray silently. God, I do not ask for riches. I ask for wisdom. Please teach me in this sleep. When you ask for wisdom, you will receive peace along with it, because a wise person knows that God is in control. And now, when lessons from ancient times have been sown into your mind, when you are lying in the protective arms of angels, when you have been healed by the stream of grace, and when you have opened your heart to receive guidance, it is time for us to close all words. Human language is limited, but God's rest is infinite. Let me offer up a final prayer for you, like a spiritual blanket covering your soul. Receive it and sink into sleep. O loving Father, the keeper of Israel who never slumbers, I offer this friend into your hands tonight. Thank you because they have let go of burdens. Thank you because they have chosen to trust instead of worry. Please seal their mind with the peace that transcends all understanding. May the peace of God guard their hearts and minds. Please send angels to encamp around their bed, driving far away all darkness and evil dreams. Please use this sleep to heal the wounds of their heart, restore strength to their body, like an eagle renewing its feathers. And in the silence of the deep night, please whisper into their ears words of life, hope, and wisdom. May their sleep be sweet as honey. May they wake up tomorrow morning with a fresh spirit overflowing with joy and vitality. All worries have passed. The old has gone. Behold, all things have become new. Now, let go completely. Nothing left to hold back, nothing left to do. Only sleep remains. Sleep in grace. Sleep in love. Peace I leave with you. My peace I give you. John 14:27. Peace. 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 Good night. Sleep well. God loves you.